Hey YouTube, what is up? It's Beng, one half the Dirty Birds, back. Been away for a while. Things got really hectic and crazy in the last year or so. Took a little hiatus, but now I'm back. Gonna be making videos all the time, mostly about the Eagles. Be back with some Phillies and Flyers as well, definitely, and maybe mix in some Sixers coverage if I can. But first off, Philadelphia Eagles. Right now in the thick of a playoff race, we are 6-8, but things are definitely looking up. After beating the Jets handedly last week, 45-19, I believe was the final score. There's a lot of positives that can be taken from that game. The Eagles scoring 45 points, first of all, with Michael Vick back. His second week back after playing the Miami game is excellent, He had his first rushing touchdown of the year, which is hard to believe that, here we are in last week, week 15, that he hadn't even rushed for, a touchdown yet, which is amazing given his athletic ability. But he also threw for a touchdown pass, which was good. Always like to see that. Shady McCoy, 3 rushing touchdowns, breaking Eagles' single-season franchise record for that, which was, I believe it was 18, and he's now has 19. The previous record was held by Steve Van Buren, one of the all-time greats in Eagles history, as many Eagle fans I'm sure know. But that was another thing that was good. Offensive line continued to play pretty well. That was the unit that coming into the season was kind of up in the air, but the offensive line, I must say, has probably been one of our strongest attributes as a team. Also, defense has played well the last couple of games. They're getting pressure on the quarterback. Jason Babin, 3 sacks. He still needs, if he gets 3 in the final 2 games, he can tie Reggie White's record, I believe, which was 21 sacks. He currently has 18. A record that I'd like to see stay with Reggie White, just because, in my opinion, he's the greatest defensive player, definitely on the Eagles, and I would say in the NFL as a whole, the greatest defensive player that the league's ever seen. If anyone wants to comment and say if they disagree with that, want to throw somebody else in there, I'd love to debate with anybody. So it was just all around a great game. I liked pretty much everything that I saw. They did lapse a little bit in the second quarter. It was 28-13. Jets kind of climbed back in it with some turnovers, but still, good win against a quality football team. But turn around to this week where we're facing the Dallas Cowboys, and we're turning into Jets fans. Going to be rooting for our friends up north, North Jersey. Jets playing the Giants. If the Jets win, and then the Eagles beat the Cowboys, Eagles are still alive for the division, can still win it. And then the following week, Eagles have to beat the Redskins, and the Giants would have to beat the Cowboys for the Eagles to get in. Eagles have no shot at the wild card, only the division. Just to win the division at 8-8, I mean, it would be somewhat embarrassing for the division as a whole, but to be honest, what I've been thinking about and what's brought up by, I've heard it, talking about in WIP in Philly, people are bringing up the fact that if you get in, anything is possible. A lot of times in sports that happens. The hottest team, take for example football, the Packers last year barely got in at the end, and they had 18, 19 game winning streak since being with the playoffs, and then up until last week where they lost to Kansas City, where they didn't lose a game and they looked unstoppable. But this offense can do that. They're capable of doing that at times. They can put up a lot of points. This team is a great group of wide receivers. Deshaun's had his issues this year, but he seems like he's, for now, keeping his mouth shut. I still think Macklin's hurt a little bit. Maybe that shoulder that he roughed up a couple weeks ago, but he's playing through it. Of course, you got Jason Avant. And another guy that I've seen a lot from lately that I kind of expected this last year, but is really stretch of field, and that's Brent Selleck, right here, number 87. He had 150 yards, over 150 yards receiving last week. He had that one catch where he kind of bobbled it but maintained it and made a great play. He's just a great tight end. Last year he kind of had to stay in the block because the offensive line was so poor. You got to protect Vic. but now they're letting him stretch the middle of the field, get out there, and he's explained some of the matchups. And the quarterbacks have found him this year, whether it's unfortunately Vince Young or Michael Vick. He's really been been playing well, and he's actually one of my favorite players, and I'm really glad to see him excelling. Definitely the fifth rounders from Cincinnati. We need to keep drafting guys from Cincinnati. We got in the fifth round him and Trent Cole, and then I believe Jason Kelsey, our current starting center, was a 6th or 7th round pick. I can't remember which, out of Cincinnati in this past draft. So clearly they're hitting the home runs. Just keep drafting kids from Cincinnati. Seems to be what's working through the draft at least. But so this week it's huge. Christmas Eve. It's going to be big game. But the Eagles exploited the Cowboys. Shady McCoy ran all over them last time in that game earlier in the season. Had a big day. The final score was 31-7, I believe. Cowboys got a garbage touchdown on a bomb that Laurent Robinson took for a touchdown. But I think the Eagles can definitely win this game easily. The only thing, it looks like Asante Samuel, he's still up in the air. He might not play. Not sure what's going to happen, but we'd like to have him in there, and that would be kind of a interesting thing to watch throughout the next day or so to see if he plays. But hopefully he can get in there. We need all the coverage we can get, especially the Cowboys do have good receivers. Laurent Robinson, who I just said, Des Bryant, and then you have Jason Witten as well. So any of them are capable of making big plays. Felix Jones might not play. He's kind of been limited in practice, not really participating too much. And with DeMarco Murray down, it's just, I think they signed Sammy Morris to go along with Felix. So it'll be interesting to watch too if the Eagles can force the Cowboys to pass, get pressure on Romo, force them to make some mistakes. I think could be a win for the Eagles, and they could be one step closer to maybe sneaking in the playoffs. That's pretty much all for this video. As I said a long time ago, I am on Twitter. My handle is @DirtyPuckhead. Dirty spelled the same way, D-U-R-T-Y, Puckhead on Twitter. So if you follow, I'll follow back. Definitely, I tweet all the time, so you can always find me on there. Like I said, I'm back for good, making videos, and I would like to take this time to wish followers, new and old, anybody who is watching this, Merry Christmas to the Trash Talking Circle, any Eagles fans, and I would like to wish a Merry Christmas to Giants, Redskins, Cowboys fans as well, fans of all teams, no matter what. Hope everybody's a safe and happy holiday season. We have some good football. We're going to have football on New Year's Day and Christmas Eve. But it's exciting time of the year, and I'm glad to be back, and I'm looking forward to commenting with you guys. So if you want to comment whatever and start a little debate, I am down for that as well. So glad to be back. Look forward to repping the Eagles on here and just having some fun. So that's pretty much all I got for now. As always, go Birds.